Okay, so I just rewatched my first video and it didn't go all that bad. So I'm gonna do my next video, and this will be just about basic vacuuming, just like a traditional floor vacuum. As I mentioned in my first video, most people, myself included, think it's better for this to be at the bottom, the heavy weight at the bottom. Now there are some people who, for whatever reason, prefer to have the brains heavier up. But I find it puts more burden on my wrist when the weight is up here. But I do want to show you again how flexible this is. So let's say you want to try and see what the brains feels like up here. So again, I'm going to put my foot on the bottom to hold the vacuum in place, depress the back of the handle, lift straight up. Now I'm going to do the same with the tube, depress, lift straight up. And lastly, I'm going to pivot this back a little. I'm going to depress here and lift the brains straight up. And now I'm going to reassemble it, but in a different way. So I'm going to start with the tube now on the bottom. Again, I want the gray in the front, so I'm just going to insert it and listen for that snap. There's the snap. Now I'm going to take the brains, and I want the gray in the front, so I know that this gets inserted this way. There's the snap. And then lastly, I want the gray in the front. I just attach the handle, and here it is, ready to go in a different configuration with the brains more at the top, but that also means more of the weight is on the top. And unless you're, really strong, I definitely feel it more in my arm. But as you can see, it's the same type of vacuum, same way to vacuum. Now, one thing to keep in mind that makes a lot of sense is some folks do believe that because the brains or the motor or the suction portion is further up, that it requires more work for the vacuum to suck any dirt all the way up this tube into the dustbin here. So this is yet another reason why a lot of people prefer to have the dustbin or the brains further down here. Now there is one thing that some people do like, which I can see, which is if you want to get under something that's low, if you have this big bulky piece at the bottom, it may prevent you from getting under something, and that could be certain instances where this is better up top. But in fact, I find that I have very little trouble even getting under my couch. So I'm going to quickly show you when I normally vacuum with the brains or the dustbin more towards the bottom. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you that it's not really that hard to get under my couch. So this is the way I usually have it set up, with the brains or the dustbin more towards the bottom. I'm not going to turn on the motor just so you can hear me, but I want you to watch what's so great about this. The bottom portion here, it not only pivots back and forth if you want to lock it into position for storage, but it can also pivot like in a 180-degree angle or whatever. So watch as I start to go under the couch, I'm going to pivot the handle, and you see it flattens more. Whereas if I have it like this, yeah, it might start to hit the floor a bit. So that's, I think, the end of that lesson on just basic floor vacuuming and the different ways you can have it set up.